Hi, this video will show how a user can provide a stock symbol and fetch its stock value from the Google Finance website. Let us begin. Create a new project. Single stock value. Create a new workflow. We will also call it single stock value. The stock value URL is in the format google.com finance quote and the stock symbol. And the stock symbol is in the format stock symbol : the stock exchange symbol. The stock symbol part is the dynamic part. We will create two workflow parameters, one for the static part and one for the dynamic part. Let's do that. Double click on the canvas, open the parameters tab. The first parameter is Google stock URL. Let us provide a description. The second parameter is stock symbol. Let us provide a description. Remember, the first part is static, hence we provide runtime false, and the second parameter is dynamic and the user has to enter every time, hence it is a runtime true. They are both of the type string. So let's click OK. Go to the Tools menu and open the GUI Spy. We are only interested in the web mode. In the URL, provide a sample stock value URL for the Google stock. Click Go. On the Spy toolbar, click the Spy icon and hover over the stock value. Click the tilde or the backtick on your keyboard. It opens the Generate Step window. In the Step Generation section, we will create a single step and we need to get value. So let us select the web get value. Provide an output field name, say stock value. You can choose a criteria from the drop-down list. I will let it be XPath. The criteria values are visible in the attribute section above. Click Generate. It pops up a Start Browser node not found in the current workflow. Click OK to add the Start node. Close the Generate Step window. You can also close the Spy toolbar. Confirm it. The Spy has generated the Start Browser and the Web Get Value steps. The Start Browser step initiates the web browser and navigates to the URL specified in the GUI automation. Let us create the web URL as a combination of the first and the second part. Google stock URL was the static part and we will add to it the stock symbol. Specify a default download directory. It overrides the default download directory. Check the Maximize Browser checkbox to maximize the browser window. By default, the browser is not maximized. Check the Start Node checkbox to specify if this step is the start node. Check the Clear All Browser Instances checkbox to clear all browser instances before starting the browser. Clear All Browser Instances option is also available in the Process Studio Tools menu. When you run a GUI automation workflow from Process Studio, the entire browser session does not close implicitly, leaving the browser open even when there is an error during development and the browser is manually or abnormally terminated. You must clear the browser driver instance before starting a new browser session. Notify on browser version change. Enable this checkbox to notify the workflow administrator and tenant administrator if a valid email and SMTP are configured. Specify the page load timeout in milliseconds for any web page across the workflow, else the workflow errors out. The web URL navigation step can override the page load timeout. You can use the web URL navigation step anywhere in the workflow to override the page load timeout. Delay in milliseconds is the maximum global delay set for the entire session to execute the whole workflow. In the retry count field, you can set the retry count number to use globally in all the steps of GUI automation for retrying on error. Whenever the execution of the GUI automation steps ends up with an error, it will retry the execution number of times specified in the start browser. Using the web set retry count step, you can change the retry count for some steps if required. Click OK. Let us check the web get value step. Leave the configuration to get stock value created by Web Spy. Notice the step will store the stock value in the output field specified. Click OK. Finally, drag and drop the exit browser step to complete the workflow. Provide the step name and the browser to exit. The exit browser step explicitly closes the entire browser session for the driver specified in the start step. Click OK. This completes the workflow and we are ready to execute the workflow. Let us execute with the run options. Let us accept the default static part of the URL and the stock symbol as Google Nasdaq. Click Run. It has opened the URL and will fetch the stock value for Google Nasdaq. The workflow is complete. Let us preview the data. As you can see, the web get value has got the value of the Google stock symbol. We saw how to fetch a single stock value from Google Finance. Thank you for watching.